Who looks better?
All Irish people lie. All right, so we're in LA. Where are we exactly?
We're in Studio City. Where the hell? What is this?
Studio City, California.
And the coffee place is what?
I think it's a Starbucks.
Starbucks.
Yes. And we're here with Burt Young. How you doing, man? Great to meet you.
A pleasure. A pleasure.
The Don of Studio City, right?
Well, yeah, that's what happened.
Don Juan of Studio City.
Don Juan, exactly.
Don Juan.
There you go. Man, I make a show that's pretty much all about stories and dreams, and I know you've had an amazing career, and people around the world know of you and everything. In Australia, the Rocky films are some of the greatest things we've ever seen. Do you reckon you've lived your dream, or if not, what's your dream?
You're from Australia?
Yeah, from Australia.
Oh, I don't talk to Australians.
Okay, well that was a quick interview. Thanks for your time, man.
I love Australians.
Yeah. How did you get involved in acting? How did that all come about for you?
It's a corny story. I told it a lot, but I'll abbreviate it.
Okay.
I was in every business that didn't need an inventory. You know, and my wife was hating me pretty good then. I hear Mama calls.
You need something too.
I don't have a baby.
No, well, not mine either.
And I met this girl, and I wasn't like a wolf type of guy. But she was so beautiful, and she worked in a bar, like on Wednesday night. I'd go every Wednesday for a month. She'd have nothing to do with me. She'd talk to everybody else.
Is this in New York?
Yeah. And then I'd be humble one night, another, I'd be tough guy, another. And I finally, as a last resort, I started rapping about her being an actor. And she lit up. And she said she wanted to study with Lee Strasberg, only she couldn't get in. So I thought it was a girl. I didn't know who the hell Lee Strasberg was.
No way.
I found out who he was. I wrote a letter. Guy invites me over his house. The letter was, "Dear Lee, if an acting background is a prerequisite, read no further. Hello, if you're still with me, acting none, life credits plenty. A, first assault conviction. B, first baby born. C, first homicide indictment." All the way down, very flip. And at the end I said, "Seriously, Lee, I don't know if acting has anything for me or vice versa, but I'm treading water. See me." Calls me over his house.
That's a cool story.
And then I'm over his house. I never talked to strangers then at all. I was a pure street guy, you know? And so now knowing he fingerprinted Marlon Brando, Marilyn Monroe, you know, I was even more tight-lipped. You know? And he's trying to draw me out. And I'm giving him one-syllable answers. You know, yeah, no. And he says, "I don't think you could be an actor." So I got up to leave. He says, "Sit down." Right. He says, "I never saw such tension in a man's face."
Wow.
He says, "But I feel you're an emotional library. Would you work with me?" And that's how I started.
That's an awesome story. That's unreal. So, what was it like when you first started doing roles and stuff? I mean, was it just incredible for you?
Yes. Immediately, I was doing every off-Broadway piece of junk. I was in the classroom. There's Jane Fonda, Marilyn Monroe, and they didn't think much of me. I'd come. I used to have a carpet laying business, and I'd bail out the men. I always had holes in my knees because the car would be waiting downstairs. And then I started working, and they all said, "You're a certain type." I didn't care. Lee. I became a complete disciple of his, and I studied devoutly, but I was doing a play first 2 weeks in class, and I never stopped. And I still fucking care so much for the actual work. The business I don't like at all. It's too slippery. too non-committal. But the work itself,
Nothing like it.
nothing like it.
Yeah, man, I have to ask you because I mean, when I found out I was going to have a chance to meet you and stuff, and a lot of people in Australia, I mean, to talk, I know you probably get asked this all the time about the Rocky stuff, but I mean, what has that impact as on your life? I mean, to play that character Paulie, and was there any chance when you guys were filming that movie that you knew that it would inspire people? I mean, there's a great tennis player in Australia called Leighton Hewitt who won the US Open. Man, he wouldn't be playing tennis without that movie Rocky. He said it a million times. Just inspiring. How does it make you feel to even look back on it and the role you played?
Well,
We got 2 games to give the Detroit
I always could compose myself, even when I was
best record with 2 games ahead.
a thug. I had ability to write and compose and understand. And when I read the first script,
Detroit game's on.
I knew it was brilliant. I knew it was street prose. And I was with William Morris, and the boss of William Morris didn't want to even negotiations. But what are we talking about? $1 million movie? I says, hey, Stan, we're talking about the most important thing that ever came by me. I didn't know what a breakaway film was. That was no experience. I never knew that, but I knew it was eloquent. And
That role was a hard role too, wasn't it? Did you find that? Was it a hard role to play? Because it's got a lot of emotion in there. And
no, he wrote wonderful. He writes like an Arthur Miller would write, like on the what's that thing that I did his play, View from the Bridge. Like each comma, he writes so simple that as an actor you almost want to say more until you realize it's all there. Let the audience say it to themselves. That's how that kid writes. 98% of that first Rocky was his words exactly.
we're talking Stallone here.
Yeah.
Yeah, amazing.
And I was negotiating with them. Here comes our birds, you see. They come. Yeah, we see. So that first thing, I was holding out. I was the only actor that didn't audition. They wanted me. And Sylvester comes, look, you see right to my feet. You see, Vinny? Our birds are here. You see? But the little sparrow get in there too. They come, hello boys, eat up. You see, we give them, see, we got friends everywhere.
Plenty of food down there for them.
Yeah, they're okay. So Stallone meets me in the cafeteria. I was doing another movie. He kneels down at my table. He says, Mr. Young, I'm Sylvester Stallone. I wrote Rocky. I says, congratulations, kid. You did wonderful, wonderful work. He says, you gotta do it. You gotta do it. I go, I'm gonna do it. Let me twist their arm a little bit. He goes, because he was very new to the business, you know. And that's when we first met.
Wow. That's almost magical when you think about the impact that those films have had on the world, isn't it?
How about doing this one 15 years after the last one? And the last one to me was a turkey. and using everybody we could from the first one.
Wow. It's been great meeting you at the cafe here with your birds, and I think we're gonna go back to your house and have a look at some of the paintings and stuff you've done. Is that right?
You're welcome to come over my little joint over there.
All right.
I'll show off.
All right. Excellent. We'll do that.